1 and a 2 and a 1, 2,
3?
3.
Oh, okay.
Oh, hello. I'm Tom.
I'm Galen.
And this is 15 minutes of leaf blower and intermittent perfume chatter. Okay, so we've resolved not to wait till the leaf blowers are done. So as ever, just consider this your Lynchian drone in the background. We are side characters in the movie Eraserhead. And here's our Eraserhead baby, Disco, who seems sad that I roused him just now.
Much cuter than the other Eraserhead baby.
Yeah.
Similar.
So today we are smelling perfumes from Lupercalia, our collection earlier this spring. The scents that we're sniffing today are 5 paintings that smell like February. So, and then also the following Lunacy we released 5 paintings that smell like fickle March weather, which we'll be releasing later this week. So we are unstuck in time. It is currently late April in the year 2022, but we are smelling paintings that smell like February, and then March. You got that?
Yes.
You responded with a hiccup. So I'm going to take that as assent. And let's just dive right in. These are kind of an exercise in synesthesia, which is the, state of being able to perceive things with senses, like it's like smelling a painting or tasting music or, it's like you can smell my bad breath just from looking at me on screen. So each one of these paintings has been interpreted by our perfumer, Elizabeth Burial, in fragrance. And, if you had made the perfume, it would smell different. Everyone is going to pick up on different details, and she has a different palette to paint from in terms of perfume blending mastery than others might. So, for example, our first one is a painting by Walter Lindsley Meegan. Not enough Meegans out there, M-E-E-G-A-N. I feel like we've had every possible spelling of the name Megan for girls, children's. Meegan.
But where are the Meegans?
Where are the double E Meegans?
I don't know. Does anyone want to do a Meegan?
It just sounds very solipsistic. It's all about Megan. Why are you making everything about Megan? It's starting to sound like a Disney Channel TV show. Anyway,
all about Megan.
A Tudor House in Moonlight. Beautiful nighttime scene. It's a Tudor house. There is moonlight, trees, some sort of shapeless figure, it following.
Is it like walking a dog or
the person?
A child?
I would have to click on
Probably
it again.
A dog.
We're gonna call it a dog.
It's much better that way.
A quadruped. A figure and it's quadruped.
Megan.
I love how Megan became a quadruped.
This is my quadruped that. Megan.
The scent notes are a slurry of ambergris accord, pale sage, and white mint, mugwort, mahogany, coffee bean, and wet dead leaves.
All right.
Okay, a lot to unpack. Scent profile-wise, all over the map. Wouldn't you say, Disco? He's very alert.
Thinking about Megan.
He can hear a quadruped outside.
Yeah.
You ready for this? Okay. In the bottle. Wow. Getting that dead leaves note.
Oh, wow. Yeah.
Right there.
And some mint.
It is a kind of like a minty,
leaves.
fresh dead leaves. You can, if you're camping, you can just, brush your teeth with dead leaves. I am getting the sage. The sage, mint, and mugwort really do all kind of nicely trim together. And I can tell that the ambergris is in there. Because it's just kind of got that, weird, wispy, creamy, strange ambergris scent. Coffee bean and mahogany in the bottle, I'm not really tracking.
It's probably in the house.
It's in the house.
It's not outside.
Well,
unless he added a to-go cup.
I'm willing to go in there. I'll go in.
Still laughing about the quadruped named Megan.
Well, it's going to be a long video, folks.
I can't stop thinking about it.
You've watched too many scary movies. Get it together.
Sorry. At least I'm amused.
This is
grumpy.
A beautiful, serene moonlight scent, I will say. That's something I can say with authority. these like pale, like mentholated herbs. Very dreamy. It's funny that there's a coffee bean in there. I'm trying to figure out A, like what function it has in the scene, and B, what I'm supposed to do with it now that I have it. If I can find it.
I feel like, and my own personal interpretation would be that the mahogany and coffee bean are kind of like acting like the warmth indoors that you're like longing to get back to.
I'm sensing them coming up,
even though you're right outside of the house.
It does have a weird sense of moving from outdoors slowly to indoors.
Because it really smells like a cool night outside. And
yes.
It's like, oh, I can feel it.
And then there's a pull toward this, like...
But I gotta go back into my study where my coffee, freshly brewed, is hanging.
Yeah.
And Megan can go, like, sit down.
And, like,
on her pillow and leave me alone while I write my horror novel.
There is, I think, that's what takes this from being a kind of a cold, sterile, outdoors spooky experience, and it orients it because the house is kind of glowing from within in the distance, and that's where there's a bit of a warm palette shift right in that belt of the painting, and that's what you get from those notes. Kind of like it. Ultimately, this painting, as much as the moon is a giant spotlight and there's this figure down in the corner, the center of the painting is this kind of like rusty, dim glow coming from the Tudor house.
I really like this.
This is gorgeous.
Oh.
It's so funny because a lot of these I kind of set them aside imagining we would have filmed about them a lot sooner, and now they're just completely... If I had ever poked my nose in this, I have no memory of it.
Yeah, I don't think I smelled this one. Don't think I smelled any of these, I'm not sure.
I might have given them a curious sniff as they drifted past my desk, and that's it. Moving on to number 2, RANDEGG in the Snow with Ravens. RANDEGG is a city.
Oh.
I don't know where RANDEGG is. We're going to find out. It's going to take me immediately to like a porn site. It's in... RANDEGG is a municipality in the district of Scheibs in the Austrian state of Lower Austria.
Oh.
The Austrian state of Lower Austria. Sounds medical. Okay, so RANDEGG in the Snow with Ravens. 3 ingredients. And then the scent notes. The painting is by Otto Dix.
Great name.
Also leads you straight to a porn site.
Yes.
Frosted Oman frankincense, russet brick, lemon amber, cedarwood, Moroccan almond, and gnarled snow-laden oak. At every turn in this description, my brain is going, yes, yes, yes.
Russet brick.
Even with the brick, where I'm just like, I never knew I wanted to smell like a brick until now, and now I demand to smell like a brick.
It's russet.
It's russet.
It's a russet brick. For my quadruped.
Actually, that's russet.
Oh.
Okay, wow. It's competing for attention with the dog hair that's in my nose. Right on the nose, I'm getting the lemon amber coming straight out of the bottle. That's this thing that's kind of like, it's like sticking my face, maybe the almond is kind of supporting it too.
Definitely getting the almond.
And it's like a cookie jar smell.
Mm.
Lemon amber and Moroccan almond is a cookie I would eat. And then probably have to go to the hospital.
You're like, you can't eat amber no matter how much you want to.
No.
Fine.
Fascinating. I am getting, I can tell the frankincense is in there, but it's just kind of like, lovely, and that can be a little lemony also. Things like the wood, the cedar, and the oak, I'm not really getting nor brick, so let's just see what happens when we allow that lemon amber to kind of drift away. Okay, so immediately on the skin, I start to get more almond, more cedar. And it says snow-laden oak, which suggests there might be a chill in the fragrance, and that is also coming through. It's like I'm definitely getting a kind of a wintry vibe. The sweetness has subsided a bit. Like it's still kind of it's like a sweet, incensey, woody, cool scent. I like the idea about capturing winter weather in fragrance because you're going to get some of like the warm and some of the cool. Someone with a more sensitive sniffer than my own is going to have to search for the brick in this because I want to know where it is. I'm not saying it's not there, just that I am, inarticulate and cannot suss it out. Undeniably kind of smells like the painting. Like what she has really captured here is this like variety of tones in the artwork, which is just beautiful. It's kind of like rosy, but also cool.
Yeah.
You know, and like the brightness of the snow, but then there's just like the heaviness of the sort of a winter chill. It smells like something I would imagine being carried around inside of a designer handbag. It just has like this kind of like weird, there's like an exotic thing to it. It's like enticing and mysterious. I was gonna say, and this might seem insane, but it reminds me a little bit of the Eve perfume from Only Lovers Left Alive.
That's it.
Is that what I'm getting?
Yes, because I was smelling it and I was like, this is reminding me of a BPAL, but I'm not figuring that out.
They're not smell-alikes or anything.
No, but Eve does have frankincense in it.
Yes.
And
isn't that a saffron? And this is going in a different direction. But that's kind of like the mood I'm getting, is there's just kind of something weirdly like beautiful and mysterious and eternal about it, but it also has these kind of like tangible, like weirdly comforting elements, you know?
I think you are correct. This is a good, like, companion to Eve. Oh. I like that almond in there, too.
Yes.
It's not too overpowering, and I like an overpowering almond smell, but like it blends so well. It is just part of the woodwork.
Like, and this is like a nutty almond, and not so much like because that almond blossom one that we have that we're going to be talking about later is like so almondy, like in terms of like you got your blossom, you got your like that almond extract, that almond liqueur, like that flavor / scent that you associate with almond is a. This is much more like I get like a shelled almond from this.
Yeah.
It's different. Shall we move on to A Row of Trees by Jan Mank? So this is a beautiful painting that's like, first of all, it's vertically oriented, which made it much easier to share on social media.
It also makes a beautiful postcard, which some of you may now have.
Yeah. Beautiful kind of like atmospheric shot of like wide open distance with like pale trees going high up, kind of like Dr. Seuss trees. Beautiful sort of transparent misty trees. And the scent notes are an ethereal dewy blend of juniper berries, lavender absolute, orris root, frankincense, spikenard, and bergamot. Okay. A fully like wonderfully outdoor scent experience with a bit of frankincense swirled in there. Okay, well, I can smell it already. That incredible, like, wet, crisp bite of the juniper. And that, oh my god, it blends so well with the lavender. It's like you can barely, they're so different and yet you can barely tell where one ends and the other begins. I know.
Oh wow, this is so dreamy.
It really is. It's like, it, first of all, again, wonderfully smells like the painting. The tones, you know? And the painting is dominated by the atmosphere, which makes sense that these would be such, like, you know, breathy, wispy, floaty notes. And then, but it does have this grounding at the bottom of these, like, the earthy green tones, which I'm expecting to find represented once I come back down a little bit. This is like pure, incredible, like aromatherapy. Like if I walk into a room and it smells like this, I'm going to go find the comfiest seat imaginable and make sure that I stay a while. So the orris, I think, is giving it this kind of nice, is contributing to like the creamy dreaminess and like, but also the rootiness at the same time.
Yeah.
It's like, I don't know, spikenard from Adam.
Yeah, what is spikenard? I know that it's been in something else, and we've probably looked it up before, but refresh my memory.
It's in the honeysuckle family, also called muskroot.
Okay.
Yeah. It is a beautiful flowering plant, and that is all one really need know. It's not important to art history whether you know what spikenard is or what it smells like. I will say that the frankincense is warming up on this, and it's becoming more frankincense-y as some of those like lavender, juniper like stink waves dissipate.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
It is under all of that.
So I'm like glad that's there because it does kind of transform this into more of like a perfume incense experience and less of just like a fully botanical like pastoral situation. There's something kind of rarefied about it that the frankincense just does by existing. I'll never understand a miraculous discovery, that frankincense. And I'm not getting a strong bergamot. I just think there's too much going on.
Yeah. It's like, I know it's there. There's a twinkle.
If someone hates bergamot, then maybe they would smell this and be like, nope. But as someone who generally just likes it, it's not standing out to me. No reason to fear the bergamot. My friend Nick has a cat named Bergamot, and that is the sweetest thing. And they call him Bergie. Beautiful. Well, I could sniff this all day, but why don't we just go on to number 4, which is the houses at the back.
Frosty morning.
Frosty morning. Sorry. Houses at the back, frosty morning. George Clausen. I thought it said George Clinton, and I was like, oh, crossover artist.
Painter.
Yeah.
Painter George Clinton.
This painting is, it's funny because it's like similar in that it's trees, wispy, atmospheric, hazy, completely different color palette. And as such, the notes are a haze of misted ambers, orris root, and dappled lilac. Okay.
Ooh.
I'm starting to get allergies. I try not to think too hard about it because I think a lot of my allergies are mental.
Just like, no power.
I should start a podcast about it. Just kidding.
Oh, allergies? They're all in your head. If you just like turn your back on them, they go away.
Yeah. It's like Pennywise, right.
Yeah. Okay.
Wow, okay. There's something about this that is more serious. This is like a more dramatic fragrance.
I mean, lilac is very dramatic.
Yeah, it's like... It has an announcement to make, and there's good news and bad news.
I'm mostly smelling the lilac and the
Hope you
orris
like
root.
lilac.
I don't doubt that there's amber in here, but
Oh.
it's like in the bottle, the lilac is like
Boomin'.
booming.
Right. And this seems like a little grittier and earthier than the last one that we smelled. I don't know why. It reminds me a little bit of something like Destroying Angel, or something there's like a little more forest floor action happening, which makes me think that there might be more orris root, and that also the lilac is just kind of tinged with a kind of an earthy sadness in its own way.
Okay, I'm getting those ambers now.
Let's get some on the skin and see what
Wow.
happens to us. This smells like serious literature.
Oh, there's the ambers.
Right.
Oh, wow.
I think it's so funny though, because I associate so many of my amber scents that I love are like joyful. I lost sneering. I told you it was serious literature. Talk about drama.
Joyful, joyful.
There's like a real kind of like an elegant sadness.
Yes. This is for the most elegant and sad.
I find that interesting because the other painting with the row of trees was like less sad and it had fewer people in it. There's just 2 people walking.
Oh,
and
they're so small.
And this one, there's like houses and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And the sun is coming up and everyone's waking up and starting their pathetic little lives, just like we did a few hours ago. But there's like this, like when you wake up and you just have to go to work, but like the outside is doing something strange related to the season and you're just like, wow, this is incredible, but like I have to go to work. There's this strange like kind of longing for, like, especially because these moments don't last, they're so ephemeral, and I think that's like this weird emotional quality of the fragrance is like this ache to like connect with something that cannot last.
Yeah. That is very articulate.
It's as articulate as I can be with what sounds like maybe a chainsaw going outside.
Right.
Hopefully it is someone coming to burst in here and...
Live in the party!
Right. We have a guard dog now, so I'm not that worried.
Disco versus Leatherface. Disco would win.
I'm telling you, first of all, Leatherface would be so distracted
Leatherface
by
would be terrified.
how cute Disco is.
Yeah, and would just like drop that chainsaw and run.
Pet therapy.
This is so beautiful. And the ambers are like just so special. I don't know.
It's just incredibly wistful. And
Yes.
And while it is a floral perfume, it's not screaming like floral bouquet because of the way the lilac is surrounded by ambers. They're just kind of like, forming a circle around it and binding it from doing harm to others and harm to itself.
I have a feeling this one will hang out on the skin for a long time, but like, and just have that like nice faint, like floral amber with like a ghost.
Yes.
And you'll just be like, oh, remember earlier today?
I have a looper from past years that I wear that is like that. That just kind of hangs. It's like a gauzy curtain that just hangs and flutters in the wind, so that every now and then you notice your gauzy curtain is fluttering. And like, I think that is the soul of like the like quiet aesthetic experience, where it's just like things that are beautiful because you notice them, and then when you notice them you think that's beautiful, and that's literally it.
Yeah.
So that's Perfume. Okay, well, I guess we have one more to cover before Leatherface arrives. I know! Disco's amped. And that is Under the Silvery Moonbeams. And I think this is the one that someone asked us about when we were doing a live video on Instagram on 420. Which is just this incredible wet road and stone wall with bare trees, and it reminds me of the scene in Inland Empire when she's in Poland or whatever, and it's nighttime, and
that is exactly what
the sex workers are walking around just like enjoying their damned lives, and
yeah.
It's wet and cold and bright, weirdly. Oh, sorry, the painting is by John Atkinson Grimshaw. Rain-spattered, shimmering, soft green mosses, mints, matcha, jasmine, cardamom, chestnut, pine needle, and sweet labdanum.
Mints.
Green, soft, wet.
I like mints.
And spicy.
Plural. Like breath mints?
Mints, yes.
Mints.
Like those butter mints in the dish, all different colors.
Okay, this is minty.
It's so springtimey.
Oh my god, what does this remind me of?
Something about the mint and cardamom together is giving me a bit of the Lovebirds. Those are different. They're kind of kooky, gourmand, antique, cozy scents.
Oh, it's the Valmont scent that we have.
Ah.
Because there's mint in that, and I think maybe jasmine. Oh, I can't remember what else is in there, but it's the mint and the jasmine from that is what's making me think of that. Okay.
We got a nice mineralic,
and the mineralic
dare
rain?
I say, petrichor.
Yeah.
I hate to use that word because everyone always chases the petrichor scents, and then they get them and smell them, and they're like, well, that's not what it smells like. And I'm just like, well, then you make one. Soft green mosses, check. Just a hint of the pine needle, enough to just be like poking at you once, just once. Fascinating. It is like, so this is just in the bottle. So I'm going to put a little on the skin.
Oh, wow.
Incredibly,
yeah,
just like pulls your imagination in a bunch of different directions at once. Which is like the overwhelming nature of being in a scene like this, I think. It's just like there's so many things to react to, and it's all swirled together. And in the past, that might have moved somebody to make a painting. Today, you're lucky if you get an Instagram post. This is lovely and wet smelling on the skin. Sometimes I think our like watery note can be a little harsh, which is why I think some people like find it soapy, because it's just so, I mean, it's oil-based fragrance, and the intensity of it alone pushes it past what people might expect from what they imagine is like a delicate experience, and you have to wait, for in the dry down. Immediately on the skin, I think this is like a kind of a weird, soft, lush, wet fragrance. Just as I'm imagining the chainsaw noises in the painting. The mint and the moss, it's so funny. All of these things that I would not necessarily put together, but that's what makes it so original.
Yeah.
And again, like, I feel like if someone asks, like, he sniffs the fragrance and is trying to understand what they're smelling, you just show them the painting and they're like, oh, well, I get it. Well, I got it.
Yeah.
I can smell the jasmine a little more on the skin coming out as the sort of like petrichor scent is kind of like loosening its stranglehold.
Yeah, it's not like jasmine heavy, but it is like a featured player.
Something about the sweet mint, the mint, matcha, jasmine, like these are like the tea smells. That's fascinating to me because it also, I think it's weirdly contributing to the like wetness in my brain. Listening to the words as I say them.
The wetness
and the cardamom. So there's just there is this kind of weird thing like where maybe you're like looking out a window with a cup of tea, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Like the painting is almost forbidding. There's something a little unsettling.
The bare trees.
Right, and this painting really shows like the kind of joy and excitement and like of like being able to witness like this beautiful scene. I don't know. Mm-hmm. It's not like a super intimidating smell, you know.
Yeah.
These all seem to have been like really interesting mixes of like kind of cool and warm and like indoor and outdoor experiences and
different levels of haze.
Lots, yeah, it's like there is a haze setting across
yeah.
all of them. And I'm curious to smell the March weather ones also, because March weather and February weather, I mean, as we even said, in fickle March weather, like, they're not necessarily different. Mm-hmm. They can be.
But they can be.
They can be. And we will smell those on Thursday, and you will hear about it if you watch us do that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's how it works.
Basically, in a nutshell.
Mm-hmm.
So, I guess that's it. We smelled 5 perfumes. Leatherface is apparently busy killing the neighbors.
Declined to burst through the door, which thank you. That's nice.
At least knock.
Yes.
The Leatherface always knocks twice.
Wow.
I think we can stop there.
That's a good note to end on.
Bye, everyone.
Bye.